There is a reason. You cannot forget that one person. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much time passes, they keep finding their way back into your heart. You try to move on. You distract yourself. You tell yourself it's over. But in the quiet moments, they return. And this is the part that shakes you. It doesn't feel random. It feels intentional, like something deeper is happening, something you don't fully understand. Almost like this feeling was placed inside you, not chosen by you. And you keep asking yourself, if they're not meant for me, why can't I forget them? But what if that question itself is the answer you've been missing? What if Allah did not put them in your heart by mistake? And what if this feeling is not here to pull you toward them, but to guide you somewhere else entirely? Because if you ignore this, you won't just lose a person. You might miss the message Allah is trying to show you through them. This feeling was not chosen by you. It was placed in your heart by Allah. You think you chose them. You think your heart just randomly got attached. But if you look closely, this feeling came in a way you cannot explain. It wasn't planned. It wasn't controlled. It just appeared and stayed. You didn't sit down and decide, I will feel this deeply for this person. It happened quietly, naturally, almost like it was written before you even understood it. And that is because not every feeling comes from you. Allah is the one who controls hearts. He knows what enters your heart, when it enters, and how long it stays. Sometimes He places someone in your heart, not to give them to you forever, but to take you on a journey you did not even know you needed. A journey where your emotions are tested, where your patience is stretched, where your attachment is exposed, where your connection with Allah is slowly rebuilt. Because when your heart becomes attached to someone and things don't go the way you expected, you start thinking, you start questioning, you start searching for answers, and slowly, without even realizing, you begin turning back to Allah. You make more dua, you think about your life, you reflect on your actions, you try to understand what is right and what is wrong. And this is where the real change begins. So instead of asking, why can't I forget them? Ask yourself, why did Allah allow this feeling to stay? What is He teaching me through this? Is this making me closer to Him or pulling me away? Because the feeling itself is not the final destination. It is not there to control your life. It is there to guide your heart. And sometimes, what you feel for a person is actually a path Allah is using to bring you back to Him in a way nothing else could. Not every heart you connect with is meant to stay in your life. Just because you feel something strong does not mean it is meant to last. We often believe if it feels real, it must be right. If our heart is involved, if our emotions are deep, then it must be something special, something we are supposed to hold on to. But the truth is, feelings can be real and still not be meant to stay. Some connections are not sent to build your future. They are sent to change your present. They enter your life at a certain moment when your heart is in a certain state, and they touch you in a way no one else did. They make you feel seen, understood, alive. And because of that, you start believing they are meant for you. But not every connection is meant to become a relationship. Some are only meant to pass through your life, to teach you something, to open your eyes, to shift something inside you. And then they leave, not because something went wrong, but because their part in your story is complete. The pain begins when you try to hold on to someone who was never meant to stay. You replay moments, you overthink, you try to fix things that were never broken. You hold on to memories, hoping they will turn into a future. And slowly, you start losing your peace. You start feeling restless, confused, emotionally tired, because you are trying to turn a temporary connection into something permanent. But what is truly written for you will not feel like this. It will not keep you in constant doubt. It will not make you question your worth. It will not make you chase for attention or clarity. What Allah has written for you will come with calmness in your heart. You will feel secure, not anxious. You will feel clear, not confused. You will feel respected, not ignored. So, if a connection is taking away your peace, if it is making you feel unstable inside, then maybe it is not something you are meant to keep. Maybe it is something you were meant to learn from and then let go. Because not every person you feel deeply for is meant to walk with you forever. Some are just a chapter, not the whole story. Allah sends certain people to expose what you never saw within yourself. Sometimes, this person did not come into your life to stay. They came to show you something about yourself that you were not able to see before. Before them, you felt in control. Your emotions were calm. Your heart felt stable. You thought you understood yourself. But then, they entered your life. And suddenly, everything inside you started changing. You became more attached than you expected. You started thinking about them more than you wanted. Small things began to affect your mood. A message could make your whole day, and silence could break it. And you sit there wondering, why am I like this? I was never like this before, but this is exactly the point. Allah sometimes sends certain people into your life, not to complete you, but to reveal you, to show you the parts of your heart that were hidden, your need for attention, your fear of being left, your habit of depending on others for happiness, your tendency to ignore red flags just to keep someone close. Things you never noticed before become impossible to ignore because that person acted like a mirror. They didn't just show you who they are, they showed you who you are becoming. And this is where most people get distracted. They focus on the person. They try to fix the connection. They try to hold on to them, but they completely miss the real purpose. The purpose was never just about them. It was about what they exposed inside you. Because Allah is not just concerned about who enters your life. He is concerned about the condition of your heart. And sometimes, the only way to fix your heart is to bring someone into your life who triggers everything that needs to be healed, so you can finally see it, understand it, and work on it. Because growth does not happen when everything is comfortable. Growth happens when something shakes you, when something forces you to look within, when something makes you realize, I need to change. So instead of only thinking about them, start thinking about yourself. What did this connection reveal about you? What did you learn about your emotions? What did you discover about your weaknesses? Because once you understand that, you stop seeing them as someone you lost, and you start seeing them as someone who helped you grow, and that changes everything. What you feel isn't always love. Sometimes it's an attachment that weakens you. What you feel inside feels strong, deep, almost impossible to ignore. And because it feels this intense, you call it love. But not everything that feels powerful is love. Sometimes it is attachment. And attachment can look very similar to love in the beginning, but slowly it starts to change you in ways you don't notice at first. You begin to think about them all the time. Your mood starts depending on how they treat you. If they reply, you feel happy. If they don't, your whole day feels heavy. You start overthinking small things, reading between lines, waiting for signs, holding on to little moments, and, without realizing, you slowly give them control over your emotions. This is not love. This is your heart becoming dependent. Because real love The kind that Allah blesses does not take your peace away. It does not make you feel restless, confused, or emotionally unstable. It does not make you question your worth or leave you constantly waiting and guessing. Real love brings calmness. It makes your heart feel safe, not anxious. It gives you strength, not weakness. It brings clarity, not confusion. But attachment makes you feel like you cannot live without that person. It makes you ignore your own boundaries. It makes you accept less than you deserve, just to keep them close. And sometimes, Allah allows you to feel this kind of attachment, not to keep you stuck in it, but to wake you up, to show you the difference between something that feels good and something that is actually good for you. Because if you never experience this, you might spend your life chasing emotional highs, thinking it is love, while it slowly drains your heart. So Allah lets you go through it once, so you learn deeply, so you understand clearly, so next time you don't just follow your feelings, you understand them, you control them, and you choose what protects your peace. Because the love that is written for you will never require you to lose yourself to keep it. It will not weaken you. It will build you. And that is how you know the difference. The distance you hate is the protection you don't yet understand. There are moments when the distance feels unbearable. You wish things were different. You wish they were closer. You wish it all worked out the way your heart imagined. You replay everything. You think about what could have been. You wonder why it didn't happen. And deep inside, there is a quiet pain that keeps asking, why would Allah put them in my heart and then keep them away from me? But what you don't see is what Allah sees. You see your feelings, but Allah sees their reality. You see the moments that made you feel close, but Allah sees what would have happened if that closeness continued. He sees their intentions, their readiness, their hidden flaws, and even the pain that could have entered your life through them. And sometimes, what feels right to your heart is not right for your future. So Allah creates distance, not because He is denying you something good, but because He is protecting you from something you cannot yet understand. Because if everything you felt strongly about became yours, you would carry burdens your heart was never meant to carry. You would stay in situations that slowly drain you. You would hold on to people who take more from you than they give. And, over time, you would lose yourself, trying to keep something that was never meant to last. So, instead, Allah removes you or keeps you apart. And it hurts, because you don't see the full picture. You only feel the separation, not the protection behind it. But one day, everything becomes clear. You look back, and you realize, if that had worked out, it would have broken you in ways you never expected. It would have taken your peace, your focus, even your connection with Allah. And that distance you once hated becomes something you are grateful for, because it saved you. So when you feel that space, that gap, that separation, don't only see it as loss, see it as protection. Because Allah does not remove something from your life without a reason. And sometimes, the distance you are struggling to accept today is the very thing that is quietly protecting your future. This waiting season is quietly turning you into someone ready. This phase you are in, where your heart feels something but your life does not move forward, feels slow, confusing, even heavy at times. You keep wondering, why is nothing happening? Why do I feel this, but cannot reach it? And it starts to feel like you are stuck, but you are not stuck. You are being shaped. This waiting is not empty. It is full of quiet change that you may not notice every day. Allah is working on you in ways that are not visible yet. He is teaching you patience, not just the kind where you wait, but the kind where your heart learns to stay calm even when things don't go your way. He is teaching you control, so your emotions don't decide your actions. He is teaching you how to stand on your own, so you don't depend on someone else to feel complete. Because right now, your heart wants something deeply. But if you were given it in this exact state, you might lose yourself in it. You might give too much, expect too much, or hold too tightly. And that can turn something beautiful into something painful. So instead, Allah slows things down. He keeps you in this space where you feel, but cannot fully have. Not to frustrate you, but to prepare you. Every day you wait, you are becoming stronger than you were before. You are learning to handle emotions without breaking. You are learning to trust Allah, even when you don't understand His plan. You are learning that your peace does not come from a person, but from Him. And this is the version of you that is needed for what is written ahead. Because the person meant for you will not just need your love. They will need your stability, your patience, your maturity. And those things are not built overnight. They are built in seasons like this. Quiet, slow, unseen, but powerful. So don't rush this phase. Don't think nothing is happening. Everything is happening, just not in the way you expected. Because this waiting is not delaying your life. It is preparing you for it. What is truly written for, you will arrive without breaking your soul. There is a truth many people struggle to accept. If something is truly written for you, it will not destroy your peace while you are trying to hold on to it. But when emotions are strong, we ignore this. We tell ourselves, love is supposed to be hard. We have to fight for it. We have to prove it. And slowly, we start accepting pain as something normal. You begin to tolerate confusion, mixed signals, emotional ups and downs. You wait, you chase, you overthink, you lose sleep, and all of it starts to feel like part of the process. But it is not. What Allah has written for you does not come with constant chaos in your heart. It does not make you question your worth every day. It does not leave you guessing where you stand. What is truly yours will come with a sense of calm. Even if there are challenges, your heart will still feel settled. You will not feel like you are losing yourself just to keep it. Because what comes from Allah comes with balance. It does not take away your peace to give you a person. It does not break you to build something. And this is where you have to be honest with yourself. If holding on to someone is making you anxious all the time, if you feel emotionally drained, confused, unsure, if your heart feels heavy more than it feels at peace, then maybe it is not something written for you to keep. Maybe it is something you were meant to experience, but not meant to hold on to forever, because what is written for you does not require you to chase it endlessly. It will come to you in a way that makes sense. Doors will open naturally. Conversations will feel clear. Effort will be mutual, not one-sided. You will not feel like you are forcing something to work. Instead, it will feel like things are falling into place. And most importantly, you will feel peace inside your heart, not because everything is perfect, but because what is happening feels right. So, learn to recognize this. Do not hold on to something just because you feel strongly. Hold on to what protects your peace, because at the end of the day, what is truly written for you will find you, without breaking you along the way. They remained in your heart because they were meant to lead you back to Allah. At the end of everything, this is the truth most people don't realize until much later. That person stayed in your heart, not always because they were meant to stay in your life, but because they were meant to change your direction before them. Maybe your heart was distracted. Maybe you were busy with life, with people, with things that kept you away from thinking deeply. But when they entered your heart, Something shifted. You started feeling more, thinking more, questioning more. You found yourself alone at times, reflecting, wondering, searching for answers, and slowly, without even planning it, you started turning back to Allah. You made more dua than before. You spoke to Allah about your feelings, your confusion, your pain. You asked for clarity, for guidance, for peace. And this is something very deep, because sometimes Allah uses a person to pull your heart back to Him, not through comfort, but through confusion, not through ease, but through emotions you cannot control. Because when everything feels uncertain, the only place your heart can truly rest is with Allah. And that is the real purpose. That person was not just someone you liked. They were a reason for you to wake up, to look at your life, to fix your connection with Allah, to understand your heart better. And one day, when time passes, you will look back at this phase and you will see it differently. You will realize they were never just someone you couldn't forget. They were the turning point of your life. The moment your heart stopped depending on people and started depending on Allah. And when that happens, everything changes. Your expectations change. Your standards change. Your peace becomes stronger. Your heart becomes calmer. And then Allah decides what comes next. If they were truly written for you, He will bring them back in a way that is clear, pure, and right. And if they were not, He will replace them with someone better, someone who brings peace instead of confusion, someone who stays without breaking you. But by that time, you won't be the same person anymore. You won't hold on to people the same way. You won't lose yourself the same way, because your heart has learned something greater. It has learned that no matter who comes into your life, your peace, your strength, your direction comes from Allah first. And that is why they remained in your heart for so long, not to stay forever, but to lead you back to where your heart truly belongs. So if you are still thinking about them, if their name still crosses your mind, if your heart still feels something you cannot explain, don't rush to remove it. Pause for a moment and turn to Allah, because maybe this feeling was never meant to break you. It was meant to bring you closer to Him. Ya Allah, if this person is good for me, bring them into my life in a way that brings peace, not pain, in a way that is halal, clear, and full of barakah. And if they are not written for me, then remove them from my heart gently, without leaving me broken, without taking away my peace. Replace them with something better, better for my deen, better for my life, better for my future. Ya Allah, fix my heart before you fulfill my desires. Make me someone who trusts you, even when I don't understand. Make me someone who chooses you over my emotions. And give me a love that brings me closer to you, not away from you. Because at the end of everything, the heart that is connected to Allah never stays empty for long.